Good afternoon. Today is the 8th of March and it's time to look at the top 10 best-selling cars of February 2022. The regular feature we've been doing on this channel now for something like 3 years. When I say best-selling, I mean with the most registrations. There's a difference between sales and registrations. Obviously, if I go into, I don't know, a Ford showroom today and order a new Focus, that doesn't mean I'm going to actually take delivery of it straight away. Particularly, we're talking about cars that haven't been registered at all, or cars that have to be built. So this is registrations, although I will say sales because it's just easier for me to remember, and it sort of just sounds better as well. So there's that difference as well. When I say, for example, a change in percentage of 30%, what I mean is that in comparison with February 2021, the number of sales in, say, the private sector of registrations has increased by 30%. That's it, really. It's nothing more complicated than that. So let's look at the breakdown between private, fleet and business sales last month as opposed to February 2021. In the private sector, there's been a 30% increase from 21,000 registrations to 28,000 registrations. The market share has remained quite consistent. It was 42%, it's now 47%. Fleet sector has also increased, but not very much. The market share is actually down to that. It was 57%, is now 51%. Only a 2% change. The number of cars sold has remained very consistent. It was 29,000 and it's now 30,000. Bear in mind, though, that in February 2021 we were in the midst of the third lockdown, so the figures aren't actually that impressive. It's only an overall change of about 15%. The business sector is traditionally very small in this country. That has actually increased a fair bit, 111% actually, although the market share has only gone from 1.2 to 2.2%. A number of cars has only grown from 626 to 1319. So what we'll do now is look at the fuel types breakdown. Well, no surprise here, the forbidden fuel, diesel, which we shouldn't talk about on the channel, has a 42% decline. The market share was 13%, it's now 7%. Number of cars sold has gone from 7,000 to 4,000. You know, there's a reason why we don't talk about them on the channel. Excuse me. Dear me. Right, I'll go on to the mild hybrid version of forbidden fuel now. This was 5.4% in February 2021. It's now 3.2%. It's the first time I've actually seen such a big decline in this, actually, 32%. Mild hybrid ones of this type are things like there are various Audis that have that kind of thing, although I think that's becoming a rarer thing. Certainly with the new Kia and Hyundai models that have come out, the Sportage and the Tucson. Those I don't think have mild hybrid assistance anymore on the forbidden fuel models. I could be wrong though. So 32% decline. It's gone from about 3,000 cars sold to about 2,000 cars sold. Petrol's also in decline, and not surprising with this legislation that's coming in 2030, which will ban the sale of all cars that don't have plug-in hybrid assistance or aren't fully electric. Obviously used ones will be available, but just brand new ones. It's gone from 52% in the market to 41%. It's about a 10.5% decrease. So the numbers have gone down from 27,000 to 24,000. So not a huge kind of decrease in just the numbers, but because of the percentage change, about 15% up, that's what's done it really. Mild hybrid petrol has seen an increase. This is things like most of the Suzuki range, gone from 10% of the market to 12%. It's a 40% increase. It's actually gone from 5,000 in February 2021 to last month 7,000. Battery electric vehicles, well, they now make up 17.7% of the market. Just a year ago, they made up 7%. So an enormous increase of 196%. There you go. So February 2021, there were 3,500 sold, and now it's 10,400. Plug-in hybrids, despite the fact that there's no government assistance for those anymore, in terms of when you buy them, that has gone from 6.1% of the market to 8% of the market. That's almost a 50% increase, about 48.9. In terms of raw numbers, that's 3,100 to 4,700. Hybrid electric vehicles still on the increase too. This is things like I don't know, all these things, Toyota Corolla hybrid, the Kia Nero hybrid, not the plug-in hybrid or the mild hybrid, just a hybrid. Got from 7% of the market to 12%, and an increase of 104%. Really must be careful about my numbers sometimes, but just as a raw numbers, listen to this. It's gone from 3,200 to almost 7,000. Wow. Sorry, that's 115%. I really must get my numbers right, because I'm really, really bad at looking at and reading numbers. I don't know why. Let's just pause a second here to take a look at the list of the top 10 bestsellers before I explain things. So, no surprises really about the bestseller of the month. It's no surprise at all, but some of the others, a bit different from January actually. You'll notice in here that the Kia Sportage was the top best-selling car of January 2022, doesn't feature in the chart, whereas a couple of Teslas do. This is to do with the way in which Tesla actually record their sales, which is very different from everyone else, because Tesla don't use traditional dealerships. For example, if I were to go down the road from where I am to the Skoda garage and order a new Fabia, the garage would register that on a local plate to where I am in Hampshire. Start with an H. Tesla don't do that. They register all their cars centrally. So if you go to test drive a Tesla, you can do that, but the cars are actually registered by Tesla's parent company in this country. They aren't really dealerships in that way. So the massive amount of registrations that come on an infrequent basis throughout the year are not individual dealerships registering them. They're just all registered together. That's why most Teslas you see are on, I think, A or L prefixes for whatever reason. They just say, I think, Tesla.com on the number plate. They don't say the name of whatever your local Tesla dealership might be, which is interesting. So at the top we have the Corsa with almost 2,000 sales, then the Mini with about 1,800, followed by the Vauxhall Mocha with about 1,500. Of course, all three of those cars do come in combustion and electric versions. Then 4 and 5 are the Tesla Model Y. I think this is the first shipment of the Y to come into this country, and the Model 3, both on about 1,300. I imagine those will continue to skew the results somewhat as they come in, because I don't think we had any Teslas in the top 10 last month at all. Next is the Kia Nero. I think this is still the older version, which I actually reviewed on the channel last year, back in September, of Planet Auto. They're not bad actually, those. 6th position, about 1,200 cars. Then the Ford Puma, a perennial bestseller actually since it was launched a couple of years ago. The Fiesta, of course, isn't on the chart anymore, but the Puma is. About 1,200 cars. Then we go to under 1,000. It's not something I've actually seen in one of these charts for a while now. Peugeot 2008, 984. Hyundai Kona, that presumably mostly will be the Kona Electric, at 966. And then the Ford Kuga at 952. So not a massive selling top 10 for last month, really. So next we move on to the individual brands and see sort of how they're doing. Now, the way I'm going to do this is just looking at the percentage change in market share and looking as well at the comparative figures between February 2021 and last month. At the end, I will do a top 5 of the best-selling brands. I'll just put a caption in before we finish because it's a bit difficult to work this out in the moment. First, we've got Abarth. This is just an alphabetical order. They only sold 25 cars last month. That was it. In 2021, they sold 65 in the month of February. Huge decrease. 62%. The market share has gone from 0.13 to 0.04. Alfa Romeo, their stablemates at Stellantis, 70% increase, although the numbers aren't massive. They've gone from 30 to 51 cars. And market share has gone from 0.06 to 0.09. Alpine, they don't actually register any significant change at all in here. Probably because Alpine sold no cars at all in February 2021 and they sold 2 cars last month. Audi, definitely one of the better selling brands for the month, but still an 11% decrease. Their market share has gone from 7.24 to 5.61. A number of cars sold has gone from 3,715 to 3,310. Bentley, a big increase, although they've only sold 57 cars last month, and it's 28 cars the year before, so not significant really. BMW, they're going to be hard to beat. In fact, they have beaten Ford. I can already see this. 16% increase. Their market share has gone from 7.68 to 7.77, and it's about 4,000 cars to about 4,600 cars. Citroën, they've gone 57% increase. 2.14% has now gone to 2.93. Number of cars sold has gone to 1,100 to 1,700. Cupra, they have had an increase of 190%. Wow, that's quite a lot, although they only sold 78 cars in February 2021. So they've gone from 0.15% in the market to 0.38, 78 cars to 226. Dacia have had an increase as well of 29%. They've gone from 0.57 in the market to 0.64, and they've gone from 293 to 379. DS, not a massive seller in this country, unfortunately. 16% increase, 0.14 of the market is exactly the same as their share for last month. 73 cars to 85. Fiat, a very big increase considering they haven't introduced too many new models recently. The last one was the 500 electric, actually. I'm not talking about facelifts or anything. I'm just talking about brand new models. 57% increase. They've gone from 0.83 to 1.13 and 425 to 667. Ford traditionally always used to do the best in this country. They've actually done a lot better than last month. Still minus 13% increase, so a decrease. 10% of the market to 7.54, and 5,000 cars to about 4,400 cars. Genesis, that's not significant as they didn't sell any cars last year in February. Honda have had a huge increase. It's probably to do with the HRV, I think. Looks like quite a nice car, actually, that. I think Planet Auto had one of those recently. 227% increase, and market share has gone from 0.96 to 2.7. 495 to about 1,600 cars sold. Hyundai, again, big increase. 148%. Market share has gone from 2.45 to 5.28. 1,258 cars to about 3,100. Jaguar, an increase again, although of just about 5%. The market's actually decreased because the overall market's up by 15%. So 0.65 has gone to 0.59, and the number of cars sold is about the same, about 330, 350, something like that. Jeep, for some reason, a big decline. I'm not really sure why. 35%. The market share has gone from 0.23 to 0.13. Number of cars sold has gone from 120 to 78. Kia, one of the best-selling brands in the country now, in terms of, just normal ones as opposed to so-called premium brands, which aren't really, because they sell far more than the standard ones do. So Kia, 32% increase. Market share has gone from 5.6 to 6.4. Number of cars sold from 2,900 to 3,800. Land Rover, a big crash for whatever reason. Unlike Jaguar, who were holding very firm, the number of cars sold has gone down by 51%. I think they've been very affected by this chip shortage that's been going on. That's probably what it is. Gone down from 3.6% of the market to 1.5%, and the number of cars sold has halved from 1,800 to 900. Lexus, another quite strong performance from them, 56% of an increase. Market share has gone from 0.37 to 0.51, and about 300 cars sold as opposed to 200. Maserati, the figures are so small that it's not significant, but they sold 12 cars in 2021, and now it's gone up to 22. Mazda, that's gone from 0.97% of the market to 2%, and 143% increase. It's very good. I do like Mazdas. They do very much appeal to me, although they are quite expensive now. So they've gone from 500 cars sold to about 1,200. Mercedes-Benz, a decrease, about 8%. They've gone from 7.4% of the market to 5.9%. Number of cars sold, though, is not that different. It's about 3,800 to 3,500. MG, an increase, of course, although this would have been better had they actually not decided to stop ordering more new combustion cars. They are very much focusing at the moment on their electrified range, the MG5 EV, MG ZS EV, and the MG HS plug-in hybrid. And so they're not taking orders for cars that haven't already come into the pipeline. So this will definitely affect their sales in the next few months. But they just maybe don't have the capacity to do this. So rather than like massive sales growth as we've seen for so many months, it's a 9.6% increase, but it's actually below the general market. And they've gone down in their market share from 1.6 to 1.5. Number of cars sold has increased, though, from 831 to 911. Mini doing well, as you saw from the top 10 bestsellers. 63% increase, 3% of the market to 4.3, and 1,600 to 2,500. Mitsubishi, not relevant anymore, unfortunately, because they pulled out last year. Nissan, 35% decrease. Their market share has gone down from 4.4 to 2.5. 2,300 cars sold last February. Last month, 1,500. Peugeot, that's gone up as well, like Citroën has. That's very good, or Citroën, I should really say. 38% increase, 3.8% to 4.6. 1950 sold in February 2021. Last month, 2,700. That's very, very good. Polestar now starting to become relevant because we actually have figures for 2021 and 2022. Although a lot of people just say they're just a brand of Volvo. Make your mind up about yourself, really. But nevertheless, 27% increase, 0.51 to 0.56 into the market, 261 to 331 cars sold. Porsche, 95% increase, very good. 0.38 to the market to 0.64, 200 cars sold to 400. I really must improve my numbers, viewers. I'm so sorry. Renault, 36% increase, was 1.4% of the market, now 1.6. 700 cars up to 1,000. 5-year warranty actually on Renaults now, 100,000 miles, which is very good. Seat had a bit of a decrease, like Skoda have. They, not surprising, they are both Volkswagen brands, I suppose, and Volkswagen themselves have had too. Seat feeling it more acutely though, 42% decrease, 3% of the market down to 1.5, so halved the market share. 1,500 cars sold down to 900. Skoda, 16% decrease, 4.4% of the market down to 3.2. 2,200 down to 1,900. Smart, virtually no cars sold at all, so I just tend to skip them. SsangYong, fewer cars than Smart, but still 118% increase. This might be to do with that new Corando Emotion that's coming out. 0.03% of the market's now 0.06. Excuse me. Number of cars sold has gone up from 17 to 37. Subaru, again, quite a small brand in this country, unlike in America. 41% increase, 22 cars sold last February. Last month, 31. And between 0.04 and 0.05% of the market. Suzuki, these days who don't sell as many as MG, which is really weird, but that's the case now. 51% of the market was, sorry, 51% increase was 1% of the market, now 1.3, 511 to 771. Toyota, who've been very successful in this country recently, actually, they've gone from 56% increase, 4.6% of the market to 6.2. 2,400 cars last February, last month, 3,700. Vauxhall, a very positive change to them, 33% increase, was 6.55% of the market, it's now 7.57, 4,467 cars sold. Volkswagen, a decrease, like some of the other brands as well within the group, gone down by 34%, was 9.65, now 5.56. 5,000 down to about 3,300. There's a big decrease for them. Volvo, 15% decrease, 3.48% of the market, now 2.56. 1,800 cars sold down to 1,500. Other imports has been mainly Teslas, because Teslas are counted differently from everyone else. Wow, massive increase. 1,556% increase. 159 cars registered in February 2021. Last month, 2,600. Gone from 0.31% of the market to 4.46. No wonder last month the Tesla, last year the Tesla Model 3 was the second best-selling car of all. Right, I'll come up on the graphic on the screen now, which will show you what the top 5 manufacturers were for last month. So there we are, viewers, the top 10 best-selling cars of February 2022. I do hope you enjoyed this little look at the market. If you wish to see more videos from this channel, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please like this video and leave a comment below. And I know a very loyal band of you do like this. Not everybody does, but you know, we do other types of videos while on the channel, of course. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching.